Hi, I'm Marlene Kenney from Riverside Trauma Center, and I'm here with my colleague, Jim McCauley. And we're going to talk today about an experience that we both have been having. And I know a lot of people that I work with, both in terms of consumers I work with, but colleagues are talking a lot about this experience of gratitude fatigue during this Thanksgiving holiday season when we're so used to feeling kind of filled up with the gratitude of friends and family. This year it just feels different somehow. And I wanted to talk with you, Jim, about this because you're the one who kind of introduced me to this idea of a thing called gratitude fatigue. I think it was maybe last month or something, when you were talking about sort of feeling that kind of flat line around this stuff.
Yeah, it's true. I think it's something that a lot of us are sort of struggling with these days. And I was saying before that right after the state shut down, my wife put up a giant gratitude poster in our kitchen, and it's very prominent, and it says, we are grateful that we all have our health, that we have a nice home to shelter in place, we have plenty of food, we have a salary job, and the weather is pretty good. And for a couple of months, that was a nice thing to walk into the kitchen and see. But I think over time, I walk into the kitchen now and I go, yeah, whatever. And I think for a lot of reasons, I think just the time has been so long. And one of the, I think, mistakes that I commonly make is to think, well, yeah, how can I be grateful for things that I have when so many other people don't have anything or have so much less? So it's sort of hard to sort of enjoy that as much as I used to. But
Yeah, I know. I think there's a so much of an experience right now. Part of having open hearts in this world is knowing that this is a time of great struggle for a lot of people, and the practice of gratitude. Like what Barbara's poster is, what we sort of prescribe, right, as a way to kind of notice what's good. And definitely what I'm experiencing, especially after kind of the great disappointment of and the loss and the grief around not being able to have traditions that are like an anchor, and just the grind of trying to have a gratitude practice. It almost feels like those things are like the greatest hits, of gratitude. Like, oh, I'm really glad that I can live where I live, and they don't resonate quite as much anymore as like an authentic experience of gratitude. I
yeah,
think that's some of what I'm noticing in myself, is that I can't really. I have this beautiful tree in front of my house that for spring and summer I would be able to use that for my gratitude practice. And now that it's shed its leaves, and I don't know, it's sort of feeling like, oh, it's a pretty tree.
I know it's hard to sort of think about how we can get back to that, because we know the benefits of gratitude are just so powerful, right? I mean, there's the science behind it of what it means for your health. I mean, it lowers your blood pressure and you sleep better and you're going to visit your doctor less. And we know the benefits of it for our mental health. And we we even know, I think those of us that are in the suicide prevention realm, just the benefits of gratitude in as being a protective factor for suicide prevention. So it's really important that we find ways to get back to that.
Yeah, and I think it kind of starts with normalizing this kind of collective experience that a lot of us have, that that it's hard to kind of feel that like effervescence, that sort of sparkly wonder in an authentic way right now. To sort of like just acknowledge that that's a fairly common and normal experience, and we know that right, it's almost more pressure, like, oh, if I could just feel gratitude, my blood pressure would be lower. Well, so let that piece go and kind of try to maybe reconnect with some of the things that we know really comes out of a gratitude practice. And one of those is sort of less habitual and more intentional. And so if your habit is sort of, oh, I'm thankful for this or that, kind of being more intentional and specific about what you notice and what you can be grateful for. I think that that's one thing that I'm doing that seems to be helping me kind of come out of that feeling of sort of molasses, and kind of like the top 40 hits that kind of keep
Mhm.
playing, that are not doing anything for me. I don't
Yeah,
know. What are
yeah.
you trying?
Yeah, I think being specific is really important, right? So not just saying I'm grateful that I have my good friend John, but I'm grateful that my good friend John thought to call me on Sunday morning to check in and see how I was doing. Just to sort of be more specific, I think helpful. And it's important, I think, not to sort of compare ourselves to others, to have our own gratitude practice that's more internally driven, I think is helpful. Um, I think also having a different framework too. I mean, I think I saw recently that the New York Times did a riff on the 6 word short story, and now was asking people to submit a 6 word gratitude statement. So I think those are the kinds of things that we sort of need to do, help us refresh our gratitude practice.
Yeah, we got to like try to sort of fight this kind of cynicism too. Like for a while, for the last week or something, I've been calling it the G word, um, because I just feel so, I can be in this place of like, oh, like I can't feel gratitude. And some of the refresh, I like that idea of trying to look at it with a new perspective in a new way. And I think also, you know, acknowledging that some of the felt sense of gratitude is it, for me anyways, it's like a wonder. When I really feel it, I feel gratitude, I can really experience like the wonder of a moment of like somebody paying for my coffee, when I'm going through the drive-through line, instead of yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that that's some of the perspective change is to kind of go from that sort of cynical, like it's okay to have gratitude too, and we have a kind of a relationship with it in a way. You know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I think for me too, just reminding myself that gratitude is a good action word, and so being more active in my practice, and for example, saying thank you a lot more often to people that have done small things for me, or certainly thanking the clerks in the food in the grocery store, the dry cleaners, writing a short note to a newspaper columnist when they write something that you like. I think those sort of small acts of thanking people have a tremendous benefit for ourselves.
Yeah, and I think that that's really is sort of what the science tells us too, is that when it can kind of go from rote and habitual, which is where some of that negativity and cynicism lives, to more intentional, that's kind of bringing us into the moment in a way that's really healthy and really kind of important for our ability to manage everything really, even the stress of these times. Every year I usually cook a humongous Thanksgiving for my family, and I love doing it. And I realized at some point one year when I got sick, just as I was putting the turkey in the oven, that I hadn't in 3 days taken a minute to reflect on like what I was doing. I hadn't gone outside. I didn't like do all the things that are part of a really intentional gratitude practice. And I think that it's sort of bringing it back to basics to try and repair a little bit of the grind of these times. Yeah.
So, anything else that comes to mind?
No, I just really sort of feel for all of us during this time of trying to figure out how to reconnect with this idea in a way that is true for us. And hopefully, this has been helpful.
Well, I'm grateful that you asked me to do this.
And I'm really grateful that you did it with me, because I really thought that I was asking you to do one more thing in a busy week. So thank you.